I play Debbie Raymond in the film, who's Paul Raymond's daughter, and we take her through from 70s, 80s to the early 90s. Debbie has a really fantastic relationship with Paul in the film. They have a really strong dynamic. They're sort of best friends more than they are father and daughter. And that relationship has really been kind of the core. It's sort of like the same person in many ways. And I think she pretty much all the time manages to get her way with him. And, you know, we certainly, from research and from the archives and from speaking to people directly involved with the family, get the impression she was very much, you know, the love of his life, Debbie to Paul, yeah. I absolutely adore working with Steve Coogan. He is so intelligent and charming and just hilarious. He's so funny. He's so funny. I'm going to have good toned stomach muscles after this film because I'm just laughing the whole time. There's this fantastic screenplay which we're working with the whole time, obviously, and that's the foundation for the scenes, but the way Michael Winterbottom works as well is to kind of continue it on sometimes or improvise, and obviously Steve's so adept at the improvisation. So it's a joy, really. It's just really fun, and there are moments within the script that are obviously so dark. It's sort of underlying tangent with, you know, of all the drugs and all the mishaps that take place. But there's a real light to it too, because I think there's a sort of feeling, especially with Paul and Debbie, where there's nothing left to do sometimes but to sort of laugh about it and keep going. But no, I adore him. I really do. I find improvisation really, really important, and it's funny, improvisation seems to sort of put a title on some sort of process or whatever that may be, but it's really, I think, just the art of just being able to play, and Michael certainly encourages that, and it's something that I've always been comfortable with, and I think it's very necessary often to getting to the bottom of a scene. You kind of throw it away to come back to it again, but everyone's different, you know. There's certainly no set way with any of it, but it's a real gift if somebody gives you time to do that as well. I really like Michael as a person, just kind of full stop. He's really lovely. He's a really lovely man, and the way he works is great, you know, which is how it ties in with working with Steve. It's very free, it's letting us play and take it somewhere new and different and then maybe bringing it back again. And he and Steve obviously have such a great relationship, so that's it's a wonderful thing to be around because it kind of sets a real ease to the set and really just kind of relaxes you and makes you feel comfortable. Yeah, the clothes are really important to getting into character, and Stephanie, who's costume designer, is just extraordinary. I love her energy and everything, and she just gets it. It's really about not some sort of showcase for a decade, but very much, you know, here's a girl who was able to be part of the fashion scene of the 70s or 80s, you know. And so she had money to be part of it, and whether she chose to wear designers or not was her choice, and her father would support that. But it's been very important to me, obviously, to sort of pay homage to Fawn's mother, Fawn being Debbie's daughter, who you've been speaking to. But not purely that, you take that into consideration, but ultimately to create a true character, and not necessarily try to keep it identical or in any way take on every single mannerism that person did from what you can gauge from research and stuff, but more just to understand this relationship that they had between Paul and Debbie. That's sort of the beast of the story to me. But Chris Addison, who plays Tony Powers, he's extraordinary. I love being around him. He's got a wild energy, and that was really important with the character of Debbie, to establish that dynamic, because Tony is, in my eyes, very much a brother figure, but also the kind of person that Debbie probably had a crush on when she was about 8 or something. And so I love being around Chris. I find him hysterical, but also, you know, he's so intelligent and is such a talented guy. I think Steve is doing an extraordinary job playing Paul Raymond. I think it's because, you know, he manages to find the light within the story, obviously the light or the love that comes from his daughter, the light that comes from the spectacle and the surroundings and the art of the shows he's putting on, but also this sort of innate melancholy, which he manages to manifest through just being there. This really is almost like a silent secret history of Soho. And it's bizarre because it's sort of like a ghost town sometimes, and we've been filming and it's so bustly and busy, and then you walk around, I've just been walking around and you're like, gosh, that's the original, you know, Raymond Revue Bar, and it's it'll be an important film to tell this story because I wasn't aware of Paul Raymond before the film, really, so it's been educational and informative from that perspective.